Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and you're gonna be nicer to call center staff after watching this video. Insufficient is not a 30-point word, I promise. Let's go ahead and hop into this story. Woman calls the marketplace with questions about a letter that she received stating that she needs to submit documents with us to confirm household income. Of course, she only read half the letter, so she's calling me and doesn't know half of what she's talking about. Let's begin, shall we? Thanks for calling the marketplace. This is OP speaking. How may I assist you today? Yes, I received a letter today saying something about submitting documents to you guys. I've already sent these documents. Why do you keep badgering me through the mail? Okay, ma'am, I think I understand the issue and I'd be more than happy to assist. Let me just pull up your account. So I pull up her account and place her on hold so I can do the research, only to find that not only has her issue already expired and restarted again, but also she's already submitted documents to us and they were found insufficient. So we returned to our caller. Thank you so kindly for holding, ma'am. I've looked over your account and found that you've already submitted some documents to us. Yes, my 1040 tax return. You already have it, so why are you still bothering me about this? The reason why we're asking for more documents is because the 1040 tax return you submitted to us has been found insufficient by our document workers. What do you mean insufficient? That's my income. I don't understand what the problem is here. Ma'am, I understand your frustration, and I can tell you the only reason why our workers would find your documents to be insufficient is if it didn't match what was on your application. Do you have your 1040 on hand so we can see if they match? Yes, let me go and get it. So she goes to go and get her tax return and comes back to inform me that her income from the previous year was around $41,000. Alright then, ma'am, that might be part of your problem. We're showing on your application that your expected income is supposed to be around $30,000. Are you expecting a decrease in your income this year? No, my income will be roughly the same. That's why I don't understand what's the problem. Ma'am, that's a $10,000 discrepancy on your application. That's why we asked for the documents to confirm your income, and that's also why your documents were kicked back, because you're not accounting for $10,000 worth of income. Well, how was I supposed to know that you needed it and the numbers didn't match up? You didn't have to use that word, insufficient. All you had to do was say that the numbers didn't add up. Needless to say, she was put on mute as I mumbled a lot of terrible things under my breath. It's amazing how these people think that we're just supposed to know this information. I can relate to this so much. When I used to work in a call center for a bank, we would request documents like payslips and tax returns and things like that to make changes on mortgages. Now, the way our system worked was, for the majority of people, we could offer a digital option. So the customer could take a picture of their documents and upload them onto our system. But sometimes the images would be blurry or they'd cut off some part of the documents like a company header or something like that. So we wouldn't be able to use it, and we used to get calls like this all the time. And the funny part is that even when you say there's an issue with the document, they are always, and I mean 100%, always adamant that they've done it right and it's our problem. Colleague threatens to file a complaint. Long-time lurker, but I had to share this call that I got last week, as it was simply too ridiculous not to share with you. I work in a call centre for a national railways company. On our stations, we have these help desks where travellers can ask quick questions. If they do not know the answer, then they either call us or give the customer our number. In this instance, the woman who worked at the help desk decided to give us a call to help her out with a customer that came to her. Unfortunately, these people are notorious for working against us and making dumb mistakes. Me will be myself, C will be my colleague at the help desk. Good day, you're speaking with OP. How can I be of service today? Oh, hello, you're speaking with me from the help desk at this station. I have a rather complicated issue for you. Sometimes colleagues make a joke about having a complicated issue, or since these people lack a lot of the training that we have gotten, it would only be a complicated issue for them. She sounded sweet, so I didn't think too much of it, joked about it too, and moved on trying to solve the issue. I have a customer here who has had a misunderstanding with his payment. He has a subscription for himself, which was not deducted from his account due to low balance. He then received a letter about this, and a week later the money was deducted from his bank account. This was money for his wife's subscription, not his own. I have figured out that the deduction was for his wife's subscription, but he was under the understanding that he had just paid for his own subscription and did not owe us any money anymore. This is all a misunderstanding. Is there anything that we can do for the customer? Okay, I can check the customer's information. Do you have his customer number for me? At this moment, I already know that per the story provided, we cannot do anything for the customer, as missed payments are transferred to a collection agency. But since I like to see things for myself to make my own judgment, help desk colleagues, as nice as they can be, are sometimes wrong about things. and I see exactly what she told me. His subscription has been cancelled because of a missed payment, and his wife's subscription has been paid for. I do indeed see that the customer's subscription has been cancelled because of the missing payment. Unfortunately, when a customer misses a payment, the dossier is transferred to a collection agency and I'm unable to do anything about this. There must be something that we can do, right? I mean, it's all a misunderstanding. He does want to pay for his subscription. I understand that, but this is standard policy. When subscriptions are cancelled because of a missing payment, there's nothing we can do for them, except for referring them to the collection agency. I cannot believe this. I've been with this company for 42 years. You can just reactivate the subscription and waive the collection cost fee, right? I just explained that I'm unable to do this. It's not that I don't want to do this, but I'm physically unable to do it. It's simply not possible. Listen. This customer comes to me for this problem, and since he doesn't speak the language very well, I want to help him with his trouble. If you cannot do this, then your supervisor can. I want to speak to him. At this point, I can't believe my colleague. There is literally nothing that I can do for this man, and now my own colleague is about to tear into me for permissions that none of us at the customer service have. In addition to that, under no circumstances do we put a call through to our supervisors. We have to either ask them to send a letter to headquarters, only in rare circumstances, or the customer will have to accept the answer that we provide for them. Sorry, I can't give you a supervisor, but as I told you, there's nothing we can do for him in this case. You can send him to the collection agency though, maybe they can do something for you? Unbelievable. I'm going to file a complaint against this case and against you personally. Now what is your name? After she said this, I realised this wouldn't go anywhere. And since the queue for our customer service was growing, I decided that I'm better off helping them instead of her and simply disconnected the call. I think I know exactly what happened here. So here's my theory. The customer has come up to the help desk about this payment, and instead of the person at the help desk telling the customer the bad news and dealing with the fallout, it's easier to call up a faceless stranger and argue with them about company policy, so that when they put the phone down, they can sort of prove to the customer that they tried to help and hope it deflects any anger from the customer themselves. That's what I think happened. What about you? In love with a feminine hygiene product. I worked at an inbound call centre. We had multiple products, one of which was feminine hygiene. I get a call from a man we'll call Richard. He called to say how much he loves our products. He called them she and her, and that he's in love with her. He just can't stop thinking about her, and loves how she feels when he puts her in his bottom. Wow, okay. Apparently he was a frequent caller. They blocked his number several times, but he just called from another one. One day, he was getting really worked up while on the phone with my coworker, an older lady, and I just remember her saying, "Maybe you should get out of the house and go for a walk, Richard." I think she's absolutely right. He needs to find a hobby or something better to do with his time. My god. How I almost got fired by giving an unauthorized person access to a customer's house. So I work as a first-line tech support for a private alarm company, and this happened back when I was fresh out of training and just ready to handle calls on my own. This is also my first job, and I'm only after a year getting accustomed to a work environment. A woman called in and asked how she could get access to a system in her phone app. She had the correct code word, security word we need to talk about the system, but didn't have any user rights to administrate the system and didn't even have her own alarm code. She was listed as a contact person in case of an alarm, and me being dumb was distracted because I was sending memes to a colleague through the work chat. Basically, I said something along the lines of, I can grant you, let's say, admin rights. So I sent her an admin invite, and she was super nice and happy, and I forgot all about that call since I can get up to 50 plus calls a day. Some time passes, maybe a week, and I get a message from my boss one day, just saying, "You can log out when you're done with your current call." I logged out and see him coming over with the department manager, and she just says, "You can follow me." At this point I'm scared, not knowing what's coming, and we sit down in a meeting room. When she asks if I remember talking to the customer, I immediately get a Vietnam flashback and start panicking internally. What happened was that this woman was the customer's ex-wife, and she changed all codes, passwords, email, login accounts, everything. They also had an electronic door lock connected to the alarm, which she also changed codes on and locked herself inside. Apparently she trashed his entire house, destroyed everything she could find, stole valuables, and I was lucky she didn't touch the alarm, probably knowing it would set off otherwise. The customer came home later and they had a giant fight, and he called in a couple of days ago, absolutely furious when he found out that we had granted her admin rights to the system. He got a couple of months free of charge and was surprisingly satisfied with that, but I got told off really bad that the VP of the company was notified and that the only reason they let me stay was because I was new. I got a written warning, and that was mostly that, so I got off the hook rather easy, but unfortunately my pants didn't. Alright, so I feel like this is kind of OP's fault and the customer's fault. Not the woman that was on the line, but the actual customer of the alarm system. So OP clearly wasn't paying attention to his work and was instead sending memes to his friend, which is really unprofessional when you're on a call, and especially when you're new to the job. You really need to focus to get the correct outcomes on calls. So she knew the code word and that's fine, but it should have raised tiny alarm bells if she didn't know the alarm code and didn't have admin rights in the first place. I don't understand why these were just offered to her. On the flip side of that, it states in the story that this is the customer's ex-wife on the phone, so the customer had the responsibility of phoning in and changing the code word, so this whole story would have never been possible. It seems like a massive security breach to give admin access to a user on an account, but I don't know. Do we have any alarm experts in the comments? Let me know, please. Okay, so that's all for r/Tales from Call Centers. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord, and Patreon links are in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!